People, happy Halloween. I am so sorry that it took so long to get on here. I know that there's going to be several people. I think I saw three or four that were waiting for the Halloween uh, watch along, and we're set up for the Halloween watch along here. But man, when I tell you, what time is it? 8:14 right now. This was scheduled for 8 o'clock, so it's been roughly about 20 minutes of trying to make YouTube Live work with Prism through the previously scheduled live stream. So for everybody who was waiting for that, which there was three of you, and I appreciate all three of you that were waiting, please notice, and I'll be putting it on the community and all that, that we're live now, and it's just a raw live stream. So what's going on, people? Alex Thorn here. Happy Halloween. And if you don't know me, I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And yeah, I'm wearing a bandana underneath the mask. And and this became unhinged. So if you don't know who I'm wearing today, which is Bendy, I got to retie it up. Bendy is like the evil version of Mickey Mouse. Everything about the story is pretty much Walt Disney. Everything about the story is if Walt Disney, fell into, I think, or one of the animators fell into the tub of ink, and out comes Bendy. This was my son's favorite, video game, YouTube series, all of that for the longest time. And I wore this outfit to go trick or treating with him, I would say in 2019, 2020 ish. So it's the only Halloween outfit I have fully, completely. Other than this, is like a Jason mask. And I get it. It's Halloween. I'm watching Halloween. And let's get this tied up back here. It's hard to distinguish which is the string and which is my hair. But there we go. It's Halloween. So I could be watching, or I could be wearing Michael Myers. But unfortunately, I am not. But this is better than nothing. So there we go. Let me make sure you can hear me. But this is better than nothing. All right. So, like I said at the beginning of this, I absolutely tried my best to get the stream to work on several devices, through several devices. I tried to get this stream to work with my phone, try to get it to work on this tablet, all of it through the previously scheduled link that you guys saw. And unfortunately, we didn't get there, but we're here now. And like I said, we're going to do a watch along of Halloween. I'll put up a community post letting those who were looking forward to it know that we're doing this now. Guys, I am going to be watching Halloween off of the AMC Plus app, which I have a subscription through Prime. And you can watch. The way this works is I'll be watching it. You guys can't hear it because the first time I let you guys hear it when we did Alien Watch Along, I got a copyright warning, and that completely got taken down. Then I had to re-upload it. So the way this works is you will not be able to hear it. I will be able to read the captions, and you can follow along on whatever you're watching this on. So because it took about 15 minutes for me to get on this live, and eventually I just ended up going live straight to YouTube instead of the previously scheduled link. Even when I did that through YouTube, it didn't work. So I got a bone to pick with YouTube, you know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna press play on this now because I don't want to make your Halloween night go too long. So again, I'm watching the original 1978 Halloween on AMC Plus app. You can watch it on Blu-ray, DVD, VHS, or anywhere where you have it. I'm going to press play in 3, 2, 1. So early on in this channel's history, I actually watched the original 1978 one. I watched the Rob Zombie Halloween, and I watched the 2018 one, and I did a megasode I'm going to end up doing is re-releasing those just in chunks and pieces for you guys to see, because that was done 2 years ago. I think it was like I think I had less than 10 videos out at that time. And so it was a very, very early video that I did. This channel was started late September of 2022. And I watched those obviously around Halloween time. So within a month. And what's crazy to say about that is that 2 years ago, and now there's 400 videos on this channel. 400 videos in 2 years. Can you believe it? Crazy. We have memberships. We're monetized. We've got members. There's super chat enabled here if you guys want to donate. It's crazy, man. Oh, man. I'll let this go. I'll raise this up just for a second. That classic music. All right, we got to turn it back down. I don't want a copyright strike or a copyright warning either, because then they'll take this whole thing down. Oh, man. Donald Pleasance. He really stuck with this all the way, didn't he? He stuck with this franchise as far as he could. John Carpenter with so many classics. You know, to this day, I've still never seen They Live. And I've heard nothing but positive things about it. Nothing but positive things. And me being a former pro wrestler, you think I would have watched something with Roddy Piper in it, you know? Crazy to think that so many Hollywood stars would come from horror movies, you know? This says introducing Jamie Lee Curtis. So I'm assuming when they say introducing somebody, that usually means that this is the first time that they've ever been in a movie. You also know that, you know, Johnny Depp's first movie was Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984. Kevin Bacon was in the original Friday the 13th, I believe, either 1 or 2, but I'm pretty sure it was part 1. Crazy to think that horror really is that gateway to Hollywood. You know what I mean? By the way, guys, chat is open. Go ahead, let me know what you guys have done for Halloween in the comments section. What movies do you like to see on Halloween? For me, like I said, I saw this 2 years ago, but prior to that, I've probably seen the original 1978 Halloween maybe 5 times in my life. Maybe. But it's I know it's controversial. In my opinion, may change after this viewing here. But up until this point right now, my favorite Halloween of all the restarts, let's say 78, Rob Zombie, and then 2018 is Rob Zombie's Halloween. So here we go with the Halloween night in 1963. Haddonfield, Illinois. By the way, guys, I am in the Thorn Theater tumbler over here, drinking a little bit of elixir, about 20 ounces or so. I think it's probably more than that. Following that, we can get away with a little bit of this. I'll be doing an hour and a half of pure cardio tomorrow on Friday, get all the toxins out. Typically, that's the schedule right there. 4 days a week in the gym. Monday, Tuesday, take a break Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday is just cardio. Kind of cool everything down, get all the toxins out, sweat it all out. You know what I mean? Crazy to think that when this movie was made, you know, Jason doesn't exist, Chucky doesn't exist, Freddy doesn't exist. It's not something that happens right in that same time frame. Although, you know, what, 82 would be the debut of Friday the 13th, and we still don't have Jason in that. We got Pamela Voorhees, inspired by this movie. It all has to start somewhere. But you would think it would all be within a, 1 or 2 year lifespan. It's not. Literally 4 years later. You know, surprisingly too, another movie that I've never ever seen is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never seen it. My Texas Chainsaw journey, so crazy, this just popped in my head here. My Texas Chainsaw journey started when I was like 7 years old. I used to go to a friend's house down the street, and their parents had Texas Chainsaw Part 3, the VHS. And I always used to look at that cover because that cover of Texas Chainsaw, I never saw it in my local mom and pop video store. So I would be watching it, or I would be looking at that box at my friend's parents' house, wishing, what is this about? I've never seen this, blah, blah, blah. My local video store did have Texas Chainsaw 2 and Texas Chainsaw 1, but I never saw part 3 there. So it started with the curiosity of that box. I believe I watched it, but it didn't leave an impression on me in any way, shape, or form. Even at 7 years old, I thought it was a little bit boring. So it would be many, many, many years until I watched Texas Chainsaw 2. Not what I expected at all. Way too campy, way too crazy. So I left that series alone. Notice how I went backwards. 3, 2, left it alone. I believe there was one called The Next Generation that went straight to video, right? There was one that came out like that. I rented that, hated it again. So at this point, I've got 3 Texas Chainsaws under my belt, and I'm not happy with any of them. So why watch the original? We got some side boob as Michael is over here creeping on his sister. She turns around, covers her boobs up. Of course, she's getting stabbed by her own brother. This point of view shot through the mask. Pretty cool. Well, how far are we? We're not even far into this movie. We're less than 7 minutes in, and at 6 minutes we got our first boobs. This movie is just the perfect time frame too. 93 minutes. I keep saying it on this channel. 90 minutes is exactly the time frame you want. Here he goes outside looking lost in his clown outfit. What could be Donald Pleasance, I'm not sure, but somebody. No, I think it's his parents. Yeah, his parents, they pull the mask off of Michael. And the camera pans back. It's really crazy. I know that later on this series, Smith's Grove, Illinois comes up on the screen right now. I know that this series later on would October 30th, 1978. This series later on would try to explain Michael and what's going on with him with the Thorn trilogy that starts at the end of, not even a trilogy. Is it a trilogy? I don't know if it's a trilogy, but they would, the Cult of Thorn. Basically, they try to explain it with that. And to this day, I don't really know what that's all about. We got Donald Pleasance driving in the rain here. I think they said it was October 30th. Obviously, my last name being Thorn, I absolutely love the thought of something in this Halloween series called Cult of Thorn. Very cool, but I just never dug that storyline. Just never dug it at all, man. Starts oddly at the end of Halloween 5, I believe. And then we go fully into it with the curse of Michael Myers and that Thorn thing. But it just doesn't add up. They try to give Michael Myers this backstory. And, Freddy's backstory was established from part 1. Jason's backstory leaves a lot to explore, but the basics are there. And essentially, he's just a man, up until part 4 when he actually dies. He's just a very strong, uh, you know, uh, off human. But when he dies, he dies. And then he comes back as a zombie, Jason, in 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10, actually. Happy Halloween, man. Thank you so much for joining, brother. I appreciate the comment, big man. Totally appreciate it, man. Love to see the comments pop up. I gotta actually, you know what? This would be the perfect time now that you're here. I gotta let people know that that stream didn't go off. So let's pop this up a little bit, reveal the face just for a moment. Still wearing the bandana. Reveal the face real quick and let everybody know that the stream, I got to replace it. Let's see, share, copy link. It sucks when this happens. It really does. But as long as you pivot, as long as you adjust on the fly, you should be okay. But I got a bone to pick with YouTube and Prism not letting me access my original stream. Boom. All right. So now all the links. Oh, crap. Here we go. Missing the movie. See? Turn the attention away to the phone and missing the movie. The nurse just got grabbed. She's getting pulled. Michael has escaped. Boom. Breaking through the side window. She leaves. Michael's on top of the car, escaping the mental asylum. Boom. Gets in the car, drives away. All right. I don't even have Facebook installed on my phone. I got to open this thing up. Let's go over here, fix these. Fix these links. So what have you guys done, man? Talk to me. Let me know. What have you guys done for Halloween? What have you guys done for your kiddos if you have them? How do you normally celebrate the holiday? Well, that looks like shit. Discard edits. Just boom. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. All right. All right. So that's all set up. Cool. We got it. We got it. This is kind of shocking. Why is there an ad here? Oh, I forget when you pay for Amazon. I forgot that there's a ad supported tier and another tier. I very very rarely ever pay for or watch Amazon despite having it. Dark Room Reviews says I took my 6-year-old trick or treating. He tapped out, but I wanted to keep. You wanted to keep going. Did you dress as anything, brother? Let me know. Did you dress as anything? Keep these comments up on the screen, man. Live chat, yeah. Let's see. You celebrate. Yeah, man. Usually I'm with my little guy, but my little guy is out with his friends on the other side of town today. But I got you guys. And we got Magic Elixir. And if you know what Magic Elixir is, you know what it is. I ain't got to say much more than that. So we got this right here. I will be right back. You guys, I'll be right back. All right. All right, not too much dead time. Not too much dead time. I'm back, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to step away for a second, but not too much dead air time there. So, boom, let's open this sack up. Yeah, usually I go trick or treating with my little dude too. Usually I go trick or treating with the brother too, my kid. By the way, I'm watching Halloween, the original 1978. He's already got his outfit, his overalls right now. Not overalls, but you know what I mean. His painter's outfit, this mechanic's outfit that he's got. We're officially at 15 minutes. This is that scene where Laurie Strode is walking away and he was right behind the bush. Yeah, we're right there. 15 minutes. Actually, I'm going to put on closed captioning for this too. Halloween for me was never the biggest, traditional thing to watch, even though it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean? Even though it makes a lot of sense, it was never the thing to always have on. For me, it was always Nightmare on Elm Street. So it made a ton of sense to watch Nightmare on Elm Street all the time. Uh, but it also makes sense to do Halloween, since we're in that season. I would say if I think back to the sequels, for me, it would have to be either Halloween 2 or Halloween 4 that are my favorites. I know Season of the Witch Halloween 3 has a huge following. I know that. And I want to actually change the name of this stream to the Halloween watch along. Wonder, can I change things on the fly here? I'm in it. I don't know if I can change it on the fly though. No, I can't. No, I can't change this on the fly. I gotta. Okay. I got it. Got it. All right. So yeah, we're doing an original watch along of 1978's Halloween. I'm gonna have to keep on saying that over and over again because the original stream, if you're just joining, because I see a few more of you guys here, the original stream just was not working. I was trying for 20 minutes to access the original link through not only YouTube itself, but also through Prism Live, and it just kept saying disconnected, disconnected, not able to access. So very odd. So eventually I just went live, you know what I mean? So we got a kid over here being bullied. I think this is that kid that would eventually come back in The Curse in part 6, the neighbor, you know? There goes a very svelte and young Michael Myers outside of a school. He's already got the mask. I think when I got up and walked away to handle something, I think that's when he picked up the mask. So I missed the little origin moment. I have a question for you guys. Not only how do you normally celebrate Halloween, but what is your go-to Halloween movie? Let's put that in the chat. What is your go-to Halloween movie? I chose this because this is really obvious, but at the same time, like if I just wanted myself to watch something, I think my own choice by myself, I would have chosen Night of the Demons. It's such a cool, you know, such a cool movie. There's nothing slow about that movie. I reviewed all three Night of the Demons and actually all four, including the remake. There's a playlist for it here on the channel. If you guys go into the page and check it out, I've actually reviewed all of the Night of the Demons movies, and they're really, even though not a big fan of two at all. First time I saw it was for this channel. Three, first time I saw it was for this channel. Previously, the only two I had seen was the original and the remake, but they're fun at the end of the day. And part one is just completely still stands the test of time. With it being Halloween season, this has given me an opportunity. There was a couple things I could have did for this Halloween season here with watching it for the channel. I could have just gone over movies that I know 100% like the back of my hand, which would be all the classics that we all know about, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to take a chance and have Halloween and the season be a reason for me to explore new movies that I really haven't seen. Hence why, I reviewed Shopping Mall. Hence why Night of the Creeps is going to be on the channel tomorrow, Friday, and a few other movies that I've reviewed for this channel this month. I really wanted to take that opportunity to I'm watching horror movies throughout the whole year, but I might as well get reactions to things I've actually never seen before. And we could sprinkle in the stuff I've seen before at another time. We got another ad. I can't believe we pay for ads now, guys. It's crazy, man. The streaming world is just out of hand. I saw I think a room, I don't know if it's true or not, but YouTube, the very platform we're on right now, is apparently going to start charging us to in our YouTube Premium, what we're paying right now, the $14. If you pay for YouTube Premium, apparently that's going to include ads, and then there's going to be like a $18 option that doesn't include ads. That's crazy. I'll be honest with you, man. If they do that, I might be out the door. Not with this channel, by the way, guys. The channel will remain, but I might be out the door in terms of paying for YouTube Premium, because even at $14, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. The main pull, because I use YouTube Premium. I don't know how you guys use it. If you're members, let me know down below. But I use YouTube Premium more than I use any other service, right? Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Prime, obviously. I completely forgot that they even play this stuff, but I have Prime for the main reason of the 2-day shipping, not really for the videos. But I use YouTube every day. It is my main streaming service, is YouTube. So I watch so many creators that really do real shows. And I think right now, the best, I'm going to send a shout out to a creator right now. If you guys like wrestling and old school wrestling, right? Attitude Era Wrestling, there is a channel called Relive. I think it's called Wrestling Bios. The channel's called Wrestling Bios, and he has a weekly show called Reliving the War, which every single week, he's been doing it for like 4 years now, I think 3 or 4 years. He's been doing 40+ minute episodes, pitting Nitro against Raw every week. And it's like a TV show. And I love that for YouTube. I love that people legitimately have their own shows now, just like we have our own community. We have our own show. Thorn Theater Reviews is a channel, right? That's what this affords us. But even at $14, YouTube Premium and YouTube Music, which comes with YouTube Premium, it's a stretch. And at $18, if it raises and I stick with it, I might have to leave another option, which I don't pay for any other music option. Well, that's not true. I pay for Sirius XM, but that's in the car as well. So I think it's like $3 or $4 a month. It's just too much, guys. It's all too much. Once again, if you dig this Tumblr, let me know. I don't have a store yet. I could. They have given me the option to have a YouTube store, but I want to grow the channel even further. Right now, we're almost at 3,000 subscribers, currently at 2,800. The girls are walking along, by the way. Time frame wise, for those of you who are curious, thank you for the 4 of you that are here. We're at 23 minutes and 45 seconds. 23 minutes and 45 seconds into the original Halloween here. But nonetheless, if you dig the Tumblr, if you dig the t-shirt you've seen me in some of the videos, let me know, because I have this magic number in my head that I want to reach. Oh, here we go. There goes Michael Myers doing his boogeyman thing, just watching them behind the bush. What a classic shot. This movie looks great, by the way. Not every movie should be upgraded to 4K, but this one definitely looks great. I don't know if it's 4K. I think it's 1080p. She's freaking her out. Her friend went over there saying that the guy wants to talk to her. But as I was saying, not every movie should be upgraded. Like, I know when I saw Night of the Creeps, not Night of the Creeps, I'm sorry, Night of the Demons on 1080p Blu-ray, I didn't like it. I much prefer to watch that in its original format, VHS. You know, what is it? That's not even 40p, right? It's 360, I think. Either way, VHS, some things belong there. This movie actually looks really, really, really good in this format. And I noticed that. Like 70s movies look great, restored to 1080p or 4K, upgraded. 80s movies, not so much. Not so much. So, anyways, as I was saying before, I have like this magic number in my head that I want to reach before I launch a store on this channel. I'm at the point where YouTube has already long ago gave me the okay, the go ahead to create products, but I want to build a strong, dedicated community before I open up a store on this channel. But once it does open up, and once I do hit that magic number, this tumbler will be available there. I love this tumbler. I get compliments every time I take it outside. It's good for the tumbler is good for water, coffee, and even magic elixir. Right before the stream, by the way, right before the stream, I went outside to walk the dog, and there was a bunch of kids, man, having fun despite how windy it is in the Windy City. It is extremely windy. The moment I went out there, the hoodie flew back. So I'm glad to see kids enjoying themselves. Talked to my kid right before I went live with you guys as well. He enjoyed himself. There goes Michael doing his stalking thing. Some of this, right? Depending on how, like, obviously, this is the first time that anything like this was done. But some of this makes you wonder, like, why is he just stepping out menacingly watching her? I get it. He's a stalker, but he just pops off really quickly. It's so funny today, just because it's so much slower than movies of today. Laurie getting prank called. by somebody. Telephone rings again. Oh, Annie. So, anyways, yeah. Um, Yesterday I thought this would be good to bring up to you guys. Yesterday, Letterboxed. If you don't know what Letterboxd is a social site for movie lovers. So they often send you previews and screenings and invites to go watch movies. I've had, I think, two or three of them, and I haven't been able to go. And I finally had the availability to go yesterday and see this IFC film called Memoirs of a Snail. So if you go to the channel and look under shorts, it's yesterday, October 30th short, Memoirs of a Snail. I I won't go into, by the way, we're at another freaking advertisement on the screen. So I'm not actually, the movie's not on right now. But anyways, um, I won't comment on the movie. I will not. You can read my short review of it at Letterboxd. And if you go to the channel, again, the link is there. The link is underneath the short. The link is on the channel itself for my letterbox. I'd love to grow my audience there. By the way, I think I have like one person that has dark room reviews, the brother who was on here earlier. If you're still on here, brother, thank you for following me there at Letterboxd. But you know, there's movies you go and watch that you don't want to make a video for. And yesterday, when I went to that exclusive screening of Memoir of a Snail, it's just not a movie that I'm gonna do a video on. So you can read my thoughts about it on Letterboxd on my profile over there. There's been a few other movies that I've gone to see, Despicable Me, and a few others that it's not like I'll just shit on the movie, but typically that's why I won't do a review of it because I don't want to spend 7 minutes just completely, shit talking a movie because I hate it. I'd rather just do a couple sentences and leave it at that. I really don't like to be negative, especially when it comes to videos. I just don't. It brings me no joy, first of all, to go to a movie and hate it. It brings me no joy to talk about it for 20 minutes, and then it brings me no joy to edit that video for 2 hours really, and then have to promote it. I don't want it. Like the 2 hours of the movie was more than enough negativity. A couple of sentences on Letterboxd, and that's it. And like I said earlier, I think I have one follower on Letterboxd right now, but a lot of movies are already being reviewed there. Love if you go over there and check that out. But I love the most is that they send you out to exclusive screenings. So if you become a part of Letterboxd, you might get one of those emails that say, "Hey, you're invited to watch a movie exclusively for Letterboxd fans only." I will say that the experience of going to the movie through Letterbox was very loose, very loose. I did not have a confirmation email from Letterbox. I was on the list when I walked in there, but they don't give you a QR code. They don't give you a confirmation when you RSVP, and they don't send you a follow up. So it was really one of those things where when we came in, we just had to say we were here for this. When we went up, had to say my name and what we were there for. When we left, we had to explain to the parking why we don't have a ticket, why we don't have something validated, why so many factors that could have been fixed if we just had a confirmation email or a QR code. Because beyond the theater, there's other factors at hand depending on what city you're in. You know what I mean? But I love that Letterbox still sends us out to stuff. I will be attending more screenings and hopefully get a chance to, talk with more people from Letterbox because everybody that was there was from Letterboxd. By the way, if you're joining the chat right now or joining the stream, I am watching the original 1978 Halloween. It's been about 2 years. Laurie Strode and her friend are smoking joints in the car right now. Time code wise, I'm at 31 minutes and 45 seconds. And I'm pretty sure that's Michael driving up behind him because this car is coming pretty close on up. Last time I watched this movie was about 2 years ago when this channel started. Literally, it was about a month in. And I got to be honest with you, even though this is a classic for all people who love horror movies and slashers, this is where it all started, right? I'm not the biggest fan, but it is good. It is better than Friday the 13th. And I've seen Friday the 13th just a couple times, a few times in my life. And I can tell you right now that this is a much better movie. Yeah, this is the same. That's Michael that's following them. He saw the police up ahead and stopped. I believe this is the only movie in the Halloween franchise where Michael drives. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. To me, this series really gets good with part 2. Yeah, this series really gets good with part 2, in my opinion. Part 2 is just like balls to the wall, you know? And obviously, this is a classic, but I'm not one of those people that it's always the OG. I disagree with that. It cannot always be the OG. Sequels are made, better sequels are made than the original. The pace gets better. There goes in the distance. Donald Pleasance is here in front of the screen talking to the sheriff. There goes Michael Myers waiting patiently to turn the car. I could see why they don't have Michael Myers driving in the other movies. Just the mere thought of Michael Myers obeying the red light, waiting for cars to pass. There's got to be a cool way to get Michael to drive, and that ain't it. If you're just joining, again, I got to let you guys know the way this works is I watch it, you cannot hear it, and I do commentary while talking to you guys. And if you guys want to watch along and join, occasionally I call out where I'm at in the film, and then you can do the same thing. Go to your favorite streaming platform where you have it at, or put in your VHS, your DVD, your Blu-ray, and watch it along with me. Currently watching it myself off of AMC Plus through Amazon. If you go over to my community page, you'll see that I actually have the FYE steelbook of Halloween, and I wasn't about to open that thing up because right now that's going for about $200+ on eBay. We're gonna wait it out just a little bit. You know what I mean? We're gonna wait it out. That's why we're streaming this one. I can hear the music, the classic Halloween music in the distance. It's funny that, Jaws created that classic dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, and then Halloween, just a couple years later, creates this classic for it. And it would be a thing, right? It would be a thing where you needed to have music that defines the characters, that defines the movies. And it would carry on and carry on and carry on. Well, that's a series I would love to review for this channel. Jaws, man. Next Shark Week, whenever that is, we're going to schedule that one out. The Jaws series. All right, it's Halloween night. And Michael's out here. Michael's out here stalking and watching, I think, Annie. Yeah. Or Lindsay. Is that the name, Lindsay? Either way, Laurie Strode's friend. This is the Burbs, man. That's what I think. One of the things, by the way, okay, so Amazon once again goes to commercial. There's commercials riddled all over this. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commercial breaks left in this. This is what you pay for. Commercial breaks. Earlier in the stream, if you're here, sorry, I'm talking about it again. But if you're new here, um, earlier in the stream, I was talking about how it's crazy that we're paying to watch commercials. I bet you that somebody in the streaming offices of each company said, well, people pay for cable and that includes streaming. I mean, that includes commercials. Yeah, but we don't pay for premium channels. When you pay for HBO, you're not paying for commercials. You're paying for uninterrupted movies. You're paying for that thing. When you pay for Cinemax back in the day, you're paying for boom, uninterrupted movies, uninterrupted flow, pay-per-views. This whole thing about you're paying a monthly fee and you're going to get limited commercials with it. Brother, we get Pluto for free. We get Tubi for free. They have commercials. That's why they're free. So you want our money and you want the advertisers' money. I don't remember his character's name, Newman, right? Newman is who he played in Seinfeld. But yeah, in Jurassic Park, he does that. These streamers got it twisted, man. These streaming apps and the presidents, not only do they want the advertisers' money, but they want our money for ads as well. Not cool. Not cool. Even though it's Halloween, I'm not a sweets type of guy. Did talk to my son before the stream. He said he was going to bring me over this weekend some Kit Kat. That's probably one of the only ones, Butterfinger. Because where he's at in the burbs, they're giving him full-blown candy bars, not like here in the city where they give the little packs of candy. So he'll bring me my candy then. And I don't want to lose all the progress I've been making, I still fit into this outfit. So we want to keep it that way. 5 years in a row, I still fit into this. So that's cool. And I fit into it better than I did in 2019. Boom. All right. So Donald Pleasance is in a home and a glass just shattered. Somebody threw something. Michael Myers is Donald Pleasance going after Michael Myers. I think he's just as iconic as the Laurie Strode character, in my opinion. I love that you have this male going after the killer who knows him. It's not something I know they tried to do it in Jeepers Creepers with that one guy who knew the history of it, but that didn't work for me. And then I think there was this black sheriff in Friday the 13th, which part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. They try to do it there too, and that didn't work. Donald Pleasance, you got to get these guys involved from the beginning when you start these franchises. And the fact that he makes it through all the way to the Cult of Thorn, I think he's in that one, right? All the way to that very last one. And I know they brought him back in a weird way, but the fact that he's involved in it all through those movies, except for part 3, one day I will watch Season of the Witch again. I watched it once when I was like somewhere between 10 and 13 years old. Never saw it again. Wasn't happy with it. But, maybe if I can watch it as a standalone movie and not in a, series review, maybe then I can enjoy it. But I know when I went into watching it when I was younger, I just didn't dig it at all. I was very angry that nothing was there of Michael Myers whatsoever. I was very confused. For those of you that are just joining the stream, let me know how you celebrated Halloween. What's your go-to Halloween movie? For me, like I said earlier, I was gonna watch Night of the Demons, Return of the Living Dead. Those are really fun movies to me. But since this is the first Halloween watch along on this channel, I figured I would start with the original OG, the classic 1978 Halloween, which, by the way, time code wise, I'm at 41 minutes and 20 seconds into the movie. I'm watching it on AMC Plus. You can watch along on whatever you have Halloween on, whether that be VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, or a streaming service. I really wish they would do something with this character right here, Bendy. I know they do video games. I know it has a lot of YouTube lore. I know they have toys, so they do a lot. But this character deserves a movie for sure. Not a physical movie, but a cartoon animated movie would be great. Maybe even one that is live action and cartoon in one. Sort of like the Roger Rabbit, Cool World type of thing. There's another movie that I saw. Oh my God. I just added it to my Tubi playlist. In fact, let me see. Never even heard about it prior to seeing this social media post about it. And I got excited for it. That's going to be a future watch for sure. Evil Tunes. Evil Tunes, man. I've never even heard of that. But once I saw this this clip from it, I was ready to watch the thing. I was ready to watch it right then and there. It looks really, really good. So Lori is officially watching the kids, her and her friend. Michael's coming up. He's watching the friend talk to Lori as they're talking on the phone. Man, back in those days, it was a arm workout to be on the phone. It was a arm workout, man. You had to make sure that phone was somewhere where you were going to sit. Do we got some more boobs? Nah. We got slight partial nudity. But we didn't get full on. Yeah, back then you needed some arm strength for sure. Michael Myers over here perving on a teenager. Oh, we got the dog. That dog is about to suffer some consequences courtesy of Michael Myers. Lester outside is barking. There goes Lester. He just yelped. Yeah, Lester found Michael Myers and now he's meeting. Oh shit, Michael picked him up and twisted his neck. Yeah, Michael's not playing, man. We got another ad. We got a minute-long ad. All right. By the way, guys, I am drinking a certain cider in that cup right there. I don't want to give away any free promotion, brother. But speaking of brother, I recently, about 2 weeks ago, got my hands on Hulk Hogan's new Real American beer. And first of all, I didn't know it was a light beer. That's number one. And number two, right, beyond being excited because I'm a lifelong Hulk Hogan fan. And I know that, we're in the final week of elections and, people get very passionate about that stuff. And when I talk, about my love for Hulk Hogan, it's literally for the love of the character that you remember back when you were a kid. So it's nothing political. It's none of that stuff for me. But I picked up. We got the thing coming up on the TV here now. We're back into the movie. Time code wise for you guys, we're at 45 minutes and 8 seconds, 9 seconds, 10 seconds. So 45 minutes and 11 seconds. Excuse me. Um, Kid is talking about doing the jack o' lantern after the thing on TV, man. Back then, the TVs were as small as this tablet over here, which this tablet is a good size, but imagine if you got a whole crew sitting there just trying to watch the tablet. Tough stuff, man. We're living in lucky days that we got 65-inch TVs now. By the way, I just want to thank you guys for joining me on this Halloween night. I appreciate every one of you. We're at 2,850 subscribers to the channel. You believe it? 400 videos in 2 years. 400. And what keeps fueling me is guys like you who come here, 4 of you watching this with me. Whether you're watching along or you're just listening to my commentary, I appreciate every single one of you guys. We are right there, 200, roughly about 150 away from 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 in 2 years. Can't wait to hit 500 videos. Can't wait to get to my 5th member subscription. That's right. This channel also has memberships. And in those memberships, not only do you get early access to videos, you get exclusive reviews just for you. You get to ask for reviews for movies that I will honor if you're on the ultimate tier. You get exclusive shorts. You get your own membership card under the ultimate tier of the membership. So many things. Lots of times I do giveaways just for the members of the channel, and also I go live just for members. So that's another thing, kind of let you guys in on behind the scenes, little, 10, 12, 15 minutes here and there, so you guys see what's going on behind the stuff, because for the general consensus, I like to show you guys the professional stuff, but for members, YouTube keeps reminding me, hey, don't try to do so much production for members. Just go raw, just go live. Which, by the way, is why I started introducing raw reviews. Not Monday Night Raw reviews, but Thorn Theater Raw reviews, meaning less production, a little bit looser. That could be me coming back home from a movie in the car. That could be me just getting done watching a movie and doing the camera in my face, right? But it's a raw reaction, a raw review that I throw up for members. So the more members we get, the more giveaways we'll do, the more exclusive lives we'll do. But yeah, I'm so appreciative of 2,850 subscribers. Like I said, 400 videos on a channel that started with nothing but laughs at Jeepers Creepers Reborn. And one day I'll also go back and take a look at that series, the Jeepers Creepers series, because I've heard that they're actually going to do yet another Jeepers Creepers, and I don't assume, and I hope to God we don't get the same creeper, the same Five Below looking creeper from the last one. God, that movie was awful, and not in a funny way either. It was like awful in an awful way. It was just a joke that even went to theaters. If you guys are into physical media, last Saturday, I released a vlog style video on my VHS collection. Kind of see some of it right there. Yeah. I released a vlog style video on my VHS collection. Didn't even show it all, to be honest. It was like getting long in the tooth because I was so nostalgic simply looking at them. But yeah, that you guys should go check that out if you're into VHS. I think I'll do that, like update maybe every 6 months to every year. If the collection changes drastically, I'll do that. Right now, time code in the movie 49 minutes and 40 seconds. Kyle Richards plays Lindsay. Kyle Richards plays Lindsay in this movie. That's one thing that's cool about Amazon is that I will say that that's pretty cool about them is that when you watch a movie on Amazon's platform and you just raise it up for information, it'll tell you who's on the screen, not just in who's in the movie, but who's on the screen at that point. They call it X-ray. So that's a really cool feature there. Right now, they've actually got the Halloween trilogy on sale, I believe, for about $37. Don't quote me on that, but like a few days ago, I had put in my community post that they had it on sale. I actually don't own any of the no, that's a lie. I own Halloween 2, which is my favorite Halloween. I'd like to pick up Halloween 4 and 5 because Danielle Harris, man, what a great job she did. I remember having the biggest crush on her when she was a teenager. We were similar ages, by the way, so don't worry about that. Back then, when she was a kid, I was a kid, teenager, all that stuff back and forth. I think she had a couple of years on me, but yeah, man, she did amazing in those movies. And this so sucks that they never brought her back. I know Rob Zombie brought her back, I think, in one of his movies. That's not the same. By the way, we got another ad here. These ads might be a minute long, but again, it just, when you pay and you see ads, it is frustrating. Incredibly frustrating. Nobody should be paying to see ads. There should not be an ad supported service because it's like if people that don't pay, right, on Amazon, you can't see anything if you don't pay. But on something like YouTube, we got to fight back against that. I've heard that they're testing it, that they're testing the $14 ad supported, limited ad supported plan, and then an $18 ad free plan. And right now, I'm at that $14 plan, which I didn't know, by the way, that they raised it from 10 to 14 bucks. I had no idea. I thought I was grandfathered in at the $10 section. I'm totally cool with $10, right? If everybody was doing $10, I would do 5 services. No problem. But 14 bucks, soon to be $18 if you want to keep it. That's a lawsuit, YouTube. You're taking away features and putting it in a higher plan. That doesn't work for me, brother. If I had Ramon, the goatee right there. All right, so Michael, we're getting towards the stretch, the long stretch. About 40 minutes left. We're back to the movie. Michael's been watching. Really, that's all he's been doing. Michael's killed a few people, but not really anything drastic. This is all about thriller right now. For the most part, the only thing we've really seen him do damage to is the dog on screen. So we got Annie, Lori, and Lindsay. It's pretty cool to see so many people enjoying Halloween in their own special ways on social media. I'll be honest with you. I completely forgot that, like I knew this is fine. The whole Thursday being Halloween, 100% acknowledge it, 100% knew it. But adults celebrating Halloween on the weekend prior was completely lost on me. Completely lost on me. I went to work. I've got a shoot job on the weekends. Completely lost on me that oh, I see what it is. Old girl left the kids that she was babysitting with Lori so that she can go get it on with her boyfriend. Look at this tramposa. Anyways, you don't have to just be in today in the social media age to be a little easy. They've been around for a while, and one of them is around right here in this movie in 1978 ish. But yeah, back to what I was saying. It's pretty cool. I did not know that people were celebrating it. A lot of single people, which I'm single by the way, but a lot of single adults and people celebrate Halloween the weekend before Halloween because if you celebrate it afterwards, you're in November. It's a little harder to promote that, right? If it's November 2nd, 3rd, and you'd be like Halloween party November 3rd. No, you do Halloween party October 26th or 25th. Totally makes sense. But for me, who is newly experiencing this life by his own, it was tough to remember it. I had no clue. So next year, uh-oh, Michael was in the car. Michael's got that grip on her throat. He's just choking her to death, choking the life out of her. Okay, this scene is going long. She's gasping. Oh, the knife. He had enough of her gasping for air. He ended it right there. So this isn't John Carpenter's the thing, right? That the kids are watching. They're watching the original The Thing, which there is. I've seen like social media posts that The Thing is not. Yeah, because this is old as shit. The 80s, or I'm sorry, the 70s Thing is not the actual, not a remake of the original Thing, even though it has the exact same font. Kids are hilarious. Oh, Lindsay is the kid. Oh, no wonder Lindsay looks so much younger than Jamie Lee Curtis in these pictures. Lindsay is the kid. All right, I get it now. It only took me 55 minutes to realize it. You know, when you're doing these watch alongs and you can't hear anything, it's tough, brother. It's tough. I got to have it super low so that I don't get any copyright strikes. The kid knows that the boogeyman is outside. But yeah, I got to keep it ultra low. So it's harder to follow along because I'm talking to you guys. I'm reading what's on the screen. I can't really absorb everything that's happening. When I watch stuff the in the bedroom off of the computer, it's much easier there because I can wear headphones and hear it through the headphones and then talk to you guys. You guys hear me and not the stuff, but I can actually still hear what's happening. But I didn't want to do that today. I wanted to be a little bit more natural, sit on the couch and be comfortable on Halloween. Magic elixir time. Cheers to you guys. It is ad time once again. Credit Karma's on the screen. Another minute long ad. They've had some good commercials lately. Credit Karma's had some good commercials as of late. And they're buy into it, so they've got the whole thing crossed over with the same people who do your taxes. Now, Capital One thing. Anyways, when it comes to Halloween, I think that this is a great outfit, by the way. I love this, as you guys can tell. I can keep it on. It is a little bit hot, but then again, outside it is windy as hell. So it would be okay to have this on. But I think next year I'm gonna ask you guys what should I dress as. Because I think there's a few really good people that I can emulate. And next year I'll be ready for I'll put it in my calendar that the weekend before Halloween is when we do parties. Is when adults do parties. I'm new to this stuff, so I'm new to the single scene, the adult single scene. You said, "Hey Lonnie, get your ass away from there." Uh Dr. Loomis over here with a small little smirk. as he scared the kids. Sheriff came up behind him too. I'm from the big city, big city of Chicago. So we don't have these sheriffs that everybody knows. We got this rather useless police force, but they're out there, and you rarely ever see the same face twice when it comes to the police officers in Chicago. Yeah, they have their patrol and all that stuff, but still, um, there's so many of them. You don't get to see the same sheriff like you do here all the time. Death has come to your little town, sheriff, and you can either ignore it or you can help me stop it. Sheriff said, more fancy talk, doctor. You know what Haddonfield is? His family's children all lined up in these streets all the way down. You're telling me that they're lining up for a slaughterhouse. Well, I mean, at least the sheriff is trying to pay attention to him. Yeah, he's questioning him, but he's saying that he'll stay there with Dr. Loomis. After a while, it's tough to believe an old man. No wonder they think he's just an old fool. But even though they're not going to see who it is, there's going to be plenty of dead bodies and evidence by the end of the movie. Right now, time code on the movie is 59 minutes and 19 seconds. We're about to hit an hour into the original 1978 Halloween. So earlier, I was talking about the Hulk Hogan Real American Beer that I picked up. Being a childhood fan of the character of Hulk Hogan, him having a beer now, had to pick it up, had to check it out. Man, the moment I opened the top, popped the top to that beer, that thing smelled like Miller Lite right away. And the first sip you take is the same, everything the same as a Miller Lite. So I'm assuming that whoever Hogan and his team of people hooked up with are the same people who have the ingredients or make Miller Lite, have that beer that you can drink a whole bunch of them. And I think they only have like 4%. It's a light beer, so it only has like 4% alcohol. Not the best tasting thing, I'll tell you that right now. But congrats to Hulk Hogan for being successful with some product outside of pro wrestling, because that's always been a rough point for him. Look at Michael Myers in the house again, perving on two teens. These movies back then, especially when you get into the first movie, the first one in any series, they're always a little slow, a little prodding, a little slow prodding. That's why I absolutely love part two of most of these series movies than part one. I understand the OG is the OG, it's what introduced us to stuff, but part two just moves so much quicker. Same thing with Friday the 13th, part three. It just moves so fast. I love that. Nightmare on Elm Street is really one of those movies that, despite Freddy being in it only 7 minutes, it moves reasonably quickly. And then, like, the ultimate example of that beyond Halloween 2 is Child's Play 2. Man, yeah, we all love the first one, but Child's Play 2 is just incredible. That's one of those movies where the second one is better than the first one, in my opinion. Same thing here. Controversial opinion, I know. I feel like Halloween 2 is a much more enjoyable watch than Halloween 1. I've seen this movie, this 1978 one, I'd say about this would be the sixth time, averaging 5 or 6 times in my life. She did such a good job in this, Jamie Lee Curtis. But what's interesting to me is that even here, right? She's super young. This is, I believe, her first movie because it says introducing Jamie Lee Curtis. You guys can let me know down below. Ah, here we go. Another ad. Thank you, Amazon, for letting me pay for ads. Nonetheless, but she in this movie, even though she's young, she has an older vibe. Like I've never looked at Jamie Lee Curtis and looked at her and said, "Oh, that's when she was young. She's very young there." Yeah, she's younger, but she doesn't have that appeal of someone that's actually her age in this movie. But then again, I'm one of those guys who's never found Jamie Lee Curtis to be attractive in any way, shape, or form. Similar to Sigourney Weaver, just not my deal. And it was actually crazy for me to see her being young in Sigourney, being young when I reviewed the Alien series a few months ago. She looked so young in part one, but she just lacked any, appeal. She actually seemed to have more appeal once it came to like Alien. Excuse me. Excuse me. She actually had more appeal once it came to Alien Resurrection later on. That's what happens when you're singing during the week and then you're talking for 2 hours on a stream. Your voice just suddenly dies out out of nowhere. Here goes the two kids, not two kids, but the two teenagers in bed. Phones going off. Back then, they got the rotary dial. I grew up with those. Even though better technology was out when I was a kid, my family just couldn't afford to keep up with the times, I'm guessing, because we still had those rotary ones and we still had all the ones with the cords. It's always interesting to see in these movies how you don't really get this either until later on in life, how these horror movies and movies in general portray intimacy. These these two teenagers literally just started in front of us. Hey, we got boobs. Um, they literally just started 20 seconds ago, and it's over like this. And she's actually happy about it. She's lighting up 2 cigarettes to give one to him. And all he did was get back on top of her for like 20 seconds. But it's 1978. At least we get to see it, right? Ooh, I can hear the wind out there. Truly the Windy City. That wind is strong, brother. I'm glad I didn't park under any trees. I got a side street right here, just full of trees. And I think twice now I've seen huge branches fall down on cars because of the wind. So parked on the main street while it's this windy weather. So right now, time code wise, I think we're officially over an hour. Yes, we are. An hour and 5 minutes. Hour and 5 minutes, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds. Dude just went to the kitchen, grabbed himself what I'm assuming is a drink. I'm watching Halloween from 1978 on the AMC Plus app through Amazon. Well, AMC Plus through Amazon app. I'm assuming this is where this guy meets his fate. I never really, I've read about it, right? But I've never really realized how much Friday the 13th. There he goes. Jason just pops out of like a linen closet, choking the guy. You got this great silhouette view. Lifts the old dude up high. Is he going to put a knife through him? Yes, he is. What's hilarious too is what you learn. I'll get back to the Friday the 13th connection in a second. Is that in real life, as you grow up, you learn that it takes way more than one stab to kill somebody, right? But in all these movies, a stab to the back, stab once here, and these people are dead. But the way these play out, these death scenes, are very, very reminiscent of Friday the 13th. 1, 2, and 3. 4 ramps it up a little bit more. But, obviously, Sean Cunningham took so much influence from Halloween. And here goes Michael Myers coming back into the chick's room with the blanket over him, looking like a ghost. Bob was her boyfriend's name. Was, because he's not alive anymore. All right, there goes old girl giving him a nice little show. You know, I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but if this was a parody, if they had a parody of Halloween, this would be a perfect thing to parody right here, where he's got. So he even poked holes. He even made holes in this blanket to make it look like a ghost. But it would be great to parody this. That if a girl shows him her top, that suddenly underneath the blanket, another part goes up. But we don't have that here. He's just standing there while she calls him weird. Get some more teenage boob shots in this. At least everybody here looks like, even though they're playing teenagers, they all look like they're in their early 20s at least. Oh man, choking her with the phone cord. Calling Lori. Annie. Oh, that's right. This is before caller ID. Man, I remember when that was a thing. When that got introduced, the caller ID, you needed a separate device. I think it was AT&T. They came out with it first. A separate device that said whose number it was with a couple buttons underneath it, which, by the way, my grandmother still has that device and still uses it to this day. It still works crazy. Oh, Annie's gone, and Michael Myers picks up the phone while Laurie Strode is on the other side. I really wish that they never got rid of the connection between them, brother and sister wise. I think it's super, super, super disrespectful in the 2018 version to have those teenagers walking down the street saying, no, they weren't related. That was just some BS people made up or something like that. I didn't like that at all. I think that connection of Michael constantly trying to go after his sister, just that's that nonstop force. Because otherwise, you're saying that they conveniently are in the same place. They conveniently end up around each other. Why? That's just no. I would much, much prefer if they kept the lore that they are brother and sister. And she knows it too. And Amazon back with yet another commercial. Another minute of commercials. While the minute may not be long, as I said it several times in the stream, it starts frustrating to pay for commercials. At this point, I don't see the point of why not just going the route of Tubi or something like that, and getting all your revenue from the advertisers. And if you guys don't know about Tubi, even Tubi does original movies. I don't believe Pluto does. I know the Roku channel does. I was shocked to actually see that the Roku channel was available for devices that weren't Roku. I thought that was wild. But yeah, like if they can make that work, I don't understand how these companies don't make it work. And if you guys in the chat can let me know down below, do any of you guys know if there's actually a lawsuit that went through for Amazon Prime removing functions and making it for a higher tier being paid? All right, we're back into the movie now. We're at an hour and 10 minutes, 20 minutes left. The Halloween theme starts to play. Dr. Loomis is outside. 20 minutes left in this classic movie that started it all. I've been so appreciative of you guys and the whole October Halloween stuff happening. I've taken the opportunity to make sure that this Halloween, I don't just review movies I'm comfortable with seeing, that I actually take the opportunity to watch things I've never seen before, such as Chopping Mall, which is available for members only on this channel, as well as tomorrow's review, Night of the Creeps. These are movies that I've seen once or never, and I didn't want to just review the same old stuff that I've seen so many times. Although it's cool to do that every now and then. But a lot of the stuff that I'm super a fan of, they're part of series, right? So when I wanted to watch Return of the Living Dead, that means I would have to, in my mind, and the way we do things on this channel, I'd have to watch Return of the Living Dead 1, 2, 3 and review them all for you. Not a problem, but it's got to be a process, right? And I wanted to watch some more one-off movies. Like, this is the first time I'm letting anybody know this. You guys on the stream, in November, a members only review is coming out for Vamp. Never seen the movie. Never. But I'm going to watch it for members and leave that review with them. That seems like it's going to be really good. I saw a trailer for it the other day. Saw that the dude from, I don't know his name, the actor's name, but he's in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. I think he plays Grady. And I saw that he was in it. I was like, I didn't know this guy was in any other movies. So I definitely want to watch Vamp. That's going to be available for members next weekish, right around there. And then Night of the Creeps is going to be available for everybody tomorrow. If you saw the channel's short from yesterday, I was invited out by Letterboxd for an exclusive pre-screen of a new movie called Memoir of a Snail. So if you're into claymation movies, that's could be an option for you. Don't take the kids if you see it. Do not take the kids to that movie. Even though it is a claymation movie, there are there are some glaringly adult things that pop up. Some glaringly adult things that pop up out of nowhere in that movie. I've been singing so much. I got an EP coming out. So my voice is a little in and out there. Been doing a lot of singing, a lot of guitar playing, and now I'm on here talking to you guys for 2 hours, which I totally appreciate and love. But yeah, so the vocal cords can randomly just go out. After this magic elixir, I'm going to need some water for sure. So now everybody connected to and around Laurie Strode, friend-wise and adult-wise, is gone. All that's left is Dr. Loomis. I believe the sheriff is still alive. I don't recall seeing him pass away yet in this movie. And the kids. But all her friends, they're dead. For those of you that are joining the chat, joining the stream, let me know in the chat what you guys did to celebrate Halloween. For me, it's watching Halloween movies. That's how I like to do it. My little buddy, my kid, he went out with his buddies after school and celebrated Halloween. He was Spider-Man this year. So very, very, very cool. Everybody celebrates Halloween in their own unique way. In their own unique ways. All the lights are out. I guess they've been cut out in the house too. Michael Myers ended up doing that. We got the suspenseful music. I wonder if those who have Patreons can actually show footage from what they're watching. So I think that would be really, really cool for you guys to actually see maybe a little box on the screen or see the whole movie here and see me in a box, something like that. I think that would be really cool. I find it incredible that YouTube and these movie companies are so strict. You know, people can play video games all day on YouTube and you can see the footage of the video games. But when it comes to movies, They don't want you to watch it, even though you're promoting their movie. You know, you're promoting their thing. This is that time period in the movie right here, the last 15 minutes or so. Yeah, we're at 1 minute and 16 seconds. So there are exactly 15 minutes left to this original 1978 Halloween. And Laurie Strode is creeping around the home trying to find out what's happening. So, old girl so this part is funny here. She's laying in the bed. Our beloved daughter, Judith Myers. Do you know how strong Michael Myers has to be? And we know he's strong. Do you know how strong he has to be to carry a tombstone from the cemetery over to her? And there goes the dead body swinging. If I didn't know any better, I would think I'm watching a Friday the 13th movie. I'm much more of a Friday the 13th fan than a Halloween fan, just because Jason is so much more expressive in his movements than Michael Myers was. No shade, no shade, just a preference. But this right here, Friday the 13th, followed everything from Michael Myers. Took so much from this movie. Michael Myers pops out, boom, right behind Laurie Strode, stabs her in the arm. She falls down the steps. That classic shot, that nice silhouette shot up the stairs. So when they do this movie, I don't know if you guys know this again. Leave it down in the chat if you know more than I do about the Halloween storyline. In this first one, is Laurie Strode his sister, Michael Myers' sister? Or is she just, the last one that he ends up killing? Because he seems to be slowly prodding after her from the beginning, right? He's easy and quick to kill everybody else, but he's like almost saving her for last. So was the thought already there that that's his sister in the first one, or did they come up with that by the second one? It's pretty cool. She breaks through the glass because he broke through the door to get in again. I've seen so many. I've seen the Friday the 13th sequel so many times that anytime I see anything happening here, I'm just like, oh, that's like Friday the 13th. But this is what inspired Friday the 13th. The automatic lights turn on. Laurie Strode, not only did she get stabbed, but she took a hell of a fall onto those steps. The suspense that this builds in the last 15 minutes, obviously, for me, I like, faster paced music. And once I get going, where everything I do is just like, all right, let's go. So I love these last 15 minutes of this movie because it's so ramped up. But I feel like the Rob Zombie version, even though that ramps up towards the end, and I do like that one better than I like this one, I feel like it doesn't do nowhere near as good of a job of ramping up like this original does. This knows what to do in the last 15 minutes to really make, you feel dreadful. Yeah, like he's crossing the street and it's such a wide open scene, you know. These two kids, Tommy, and I believe Tommy would be the one to show up and curse at Michael Myers in part 6. They do such a good job at making you feel that dread for everybody here. The two kids, Laurie Strode, the threat of Michael Myers. I forgot, how does he get into the house? Did he break through the window or something? I've seen so many people say that. Oh, 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 it's the window. Okay. She takes one of those knitting needles and stuck it into his throat. I've seen so many people say that Jamie Lee Curtis is attractive, and by all means, to each their own, right? But I just don't see it. Even here at a younger age, something about her just looks. She looks old. Even though she's younger, she just looks old. All right, so we got this moment, like the eye of the hurricane, right here. This quiet moment where she thinks she killed him, well, even though she just stabbed him in the neck with a needle pin. Dr. Loomis is out here just walking the streets. He's very convinced. I will say that for because he knows, right? Because he knows Michael Myers. He knows who he is, the heart, the soul. Yeah, there goes the sheriff. He knows who he is. He treated him. If I don't, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I believe he treated him, had talks with Michael Myers or whatever. But he's very convinced that Michael Myers being in public amongst the people is just not the way to go. He's so utterly convinced that this kid is pure evil, which is wild. Which is wild to feel that way about a kid, even though this kid did terrible shit, killed his whole family. But he didn't kill his mother and his father like he did, right? He did that in the Rob Zombie one. He killed way more people as a kid, which I liked it that they explored it back. We're back to a damn another commercial because of Amazon. But I like that the Rob Zombie one explored more of the kid factor. I think somebody once said we don't need to know why he is the way he is. Well, it didn't really give us a reason why he was bullied. A lot of a lot of those kids, suburban kids that get bullied and have this terrible, you know, these terrible things happening at home. The stepfather who ain't shit, and then the stripper mom who really isn't much either. Stuff like that happens. We see it in the news a lot. Boy, T-Mobile is advertising these iPhone 16 Pros on everybody for everybody. They're advertising them big time. I'm not an iPhone guy, but although I have a friend who's trying to pressure me to go that way. He's saying as a creative, I would benefit greatly from the Amazon suite. I mean, not Amazon, from the Apple suite. My apologies. All right, we're back to the movie. We're in the home stretch. Home stretch. 9 minutes. Last confrontation here. Oh, oh. He's in the house walking up the steps. Right behind Laurie Strode and the two kids, Tommy and the other little girl. So he literally just saw them. He was literally right behind them. They went into the room. She opened up the balcony doors and she goes into the closet and she ties it up a little bit. So I'm guessing she wants to make him think that she jumped out the balcony, but what about the two kids? Like, you're obviously there. I have to remember again, this is 1978. So there's no real preceding president other than what? Psycho? But that was made so long before this. But Michael Myers really is the first slasher. There's some weak ass doors that he's trying to open up. There we go. Break through them wooden doors. Turns on the light. I love that. The chaos of the light going back and forth. Laurie grabs for one of the standard hangers we all have, the wire hanger. You know, one of the things that this movie, I don't know if you guys hear that. Welcome to the Windy City. Uh, One of the things that this movie and so many movies of the 80s slash, I guess, 70s here did well was they didn't let us see the killer's eyes. So much like this, right, where it's just very dark. That's how it should be when a killer wears a mask. The one thing I used to hate is that once we got into the 90s, I don't know what it was, but they were hell bent on letting us see the humanistic eyes of whoever the killer was behind the mask, or just was ridiculous. It took away so much. So she stabbed him in the eye. She now has the knife in front of her, like this. Magic elixir time. But yeah, the 80s did that really well, keeping the darkness behind the eyes. You shouldn't see them. It should be empty portals, empty, voided portals. You shouldn't see the eyes. Unless they're not, unless they're not wearing a mask. If they're not wearing a mask, I get it. But if they're wearing a mask, you don't want to see the eyes because that makes them human. So he doesn't go after the two kids because he was busy going after Lori. Here we go with the Undertaker slash Kane get up. I think back to it, man. That had to be so tough. As somebody who wrestled for 5 years, pro wrestled for 5 years, when you think back to the Undertaker and Kane taking these big bumps, then laying there flat just to pop up like this, it's so tough, man, because and those guys are big. Those were big, 6'9", 6'10", 300+ pound guys. You fall on that mat, it never gets easy. It always hurts. It always hurts. So to be able to get up like Michael Myers after something like that, show no pain, show that impact didn't hurt you. She moves right at the right time, right as he's coming up on her. There he goes. He grabs her. He's choking her. We're in the final stretch here. Choking the shit out of her. Dr. Loomis comes upstairs. She takes off his mask. He got a little, I can't even say that word. He's got a little bit of a droopy eye. I'm assuming that droopy eye came from when she stabbed him, because earlier in the movie, he looked like he was perfect. I don't know why the hell he's just standing there. He's gotten shot four times, I believe. Falls over the balcony because she opened up those doors. See, at this point right here is where I would start to wonder and question, how is it possible that he's still alive, right? Because obviously he disappears at the end of this. So it would mean to me that Michael Myers some way, somehow is possessed or not human. That's one thing that I guess they tried to explain with the Thorn stuff in part 5 and 6, but they didn't explain that well. That wasn't good enough. Nobody bought into it. You have to find some type of way to make these guys defy, being human. Yeah, he got shot 4 times and he's gone. Falls over that balcony, and now Dr. Loomis sees and he's gone. Lori's right here, crying her eyes out. I love movies where part 2 just picks up right from where part 1 leaves off. That's so good. I think in the original Friday the 13th, it's the same thing. Where like part 1, 2, 3, and 4 all happen within a similar time span. We got the classic music happening. What's interesting about, like watching this movie and a few other movies that I've seen from this time period is that we have everything right now. We got these cameras to do this. We've got simple lighting that we could purchase to do that. All right. And the credits roll for the original Halloween. A classic, man. Cannot hate. It may not be one of my favorites of all time, but it gets my respect, that's for sure. Boom, let's take off the mask. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. We got some of the head scalp showing. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me on this live watch along on Halloween. All of you, all 2,800 of you that are fans and subscribed to Thorn Theater, thank you so much for being there for me. We are about 150 subscribers away from 3,000. As of today, 400 videos in on the channel. Crazy, astonishing. And it's because of people like you, the 5 of you that are here right now. Those of you who have checked out the stream throughout it. Thank you for checking out the shorts, interacting with the community page, becoming members of the channel. Thank you so much. When I got my first member, I was shocked. He's here for 6 months now. Second member just joined a couple months ago. Can't wait till we get to 5 members, because then I can make some more badges for you guys. There's some cool badges and emojis now. But once we get to 5 subscribers, we can do more. So thank you for joining me for this watch along. Help me get to 3,000 subscribers. Let's get to 5 members of the channel. Follow me on Letterboxd. Check out my music on Spotify, Alex Thorn. I've got a new EP coming out this year. By the end of the year, 5 songs on the EP. I've been doing a lot of singing, as you heard me, my voice going out. It is Halloween. I hope you guys enjoyed it with your family. If you don't have family, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. You guys are my family today on Halloween. I'm Alex Thorn. You know what I got to do. I got to rock out, watch some movies, and review them for you. Thank you for joining me.